Therapy is a scam. I've been telling you this for years. I'm happy now people are coming to their senses. You have women now, or female therapists coming out now, or therapists in general, but mainly female therapists, of them coming to the conclusion that maybe pushing this whole mental health thing wasn't the best idea, you know? But anyway, we're going to let this sister talk here. Fair use.
Maybe it's just me, but I thought that the goal was to create awareness, to, normalize seeking help, to make therapy accessible, to remove the shame around mental health struggles. But somewhere along the way, destigmatizing mental health has taken on a life of its own. And now, instead of people getting better, I just feel like people are getting worse. We didn't just normalize therapy. We turned it into a personality trait. We didn't just encourage self awareness. We turned every feeling into a diagnosis. And instead of using mental health language as a tool, we've started using it as a shield, justifying avoidance, self sabotage, and emotional fragility in the name of protection. Now everything is a trigger. Everything is trauma. People say, I can't do this. It's bad for my mental health. When what they really mean is, this is hard and I don't want to deal with it. But since when did mental health become about avoiding life instead of learning how to handle it? Good mental health isn't about comfort. It's about capacity. It's about having the emotional, the psychological, and the cognitive range to handle life as it comes, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Your mental health should be challenged, because if your mental health can't withstand stress, discomfort, or uncertainty, then you don't have mental strength. You have emotional dependence based on the right circumstances. And life does not care about your circumstances. And I'm serious, y'all. Like, really, ask yourself, has your mental health journey actually made you stronger, or has it made you retreat further into protecting yourself in the name of good mental health?
Preach. That speech right there deserves a round of applause. This is what I've been saying. Mind you, there's a lot of people that owe me an apology over this thing because I saw this coming for a minute. Like I saw this coming for a minute, even before really me listening to a Corey Holcomb or the RP space, people in this space, or other types of interesting people in general. I used to be like, okay, maybe there needs to be a space for people that have been through real trauma, like certain things that happen in people's families. People don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, okay, these people need a space, you know what I mean, for them to vent, talk. I saw trial runs of this at my high school. You know what I mean? There used to be a group of people, right? I was in that group, but I got invited via a friend, right, to just basically listen in and then give in my 2 cents once in a while, right? And people be going through real ish, and I'm like, damn, they need somebody to talk to. I get it, I completely get it. You know what I mean? But I used to be like, I don't think when you're seeing certain people were pushing it on the radio, like Charlamagne the God and all these people, and really women in general with this whole mental health, and you need to seek therapy. It started turning into something that was I used to be like, I don't like what it. And even in the beginning, I was like, I don't like what this is turning into, right? And obviously on my channel, I've been saying this since 2022. Therapy is a scam. The people, most of the therapists are not qualified to be giving any diagnoses, judgment, or advice. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. Anybody that's been in college knows that the people in the psych department are, most of these people are quacks, right? I've been in a lot of people's departments. Or I remember going to a school tour to to University of New Haven. I went to on a tour, and I remember the guy told me, he said, "Wait, what are you going to major again?" And I told him, and he's like, Are you serious? Dude, no." He said that whole department. He said, if you go to UNH, you in here for the forensic science program and the blah 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 whatever. And he said, if you trying to do that department, he said that department is a joke. I was a junior in high school when I did that, but this is the consensus that I got from doing a lot of tours from a lot. I'm talking about this was like 2014, 2015-ish. They basically would say that department is a joke. And now we're coming full circle. And now these people are the experts. These people are telling people what to do. They're giving people medicine. They're prescribing. No, 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 no. They're trying to control speech, dictate how we talk to each other. They want to dictate what people should say to each other in relationships. And I'm talking about these people are having the biggest influence on relationships today, especially for young people. And you're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. But let's play this video one more time. I'll break it down. And I will expound on when she says people using therapy as a shield, right? And I will go into how people also use therapy and therapy speak talk as a weapon against the normies.
Maybe it's just me, but I thought that the goal was to create awareness, to, normalize seeking help, to make therapy accessible, to remove the shame around mental health struggles. But somewhere along the way, destigmatizing mental health has taken on a life of its own. And
Yeah, like it's turned into something that I never. Even when we talk about therapy speak, therapy talk, like and I would hear certain hoes talk, and I'd be like, don't tell me that your therapist. Every whole. I'm sorry, every woman, every other one I'm talking to talking about. Oh, this is what my therapist told me to do. It is. I'm like, who? And you get like, I'll say this, especially as a man, because this is obviously a man centered channel, right? A man, man centered channel. That's the best way to put it, right? If you're in a relationship with a woman or you're looking to date a woman, you're not only just dating her, you're dating her friends, you're dating her her rainbow friends, male or female, right? And not only that, I forgot this one point. You're also you're not necessarily just talking to her, you're basically talking to her therapist through her. Because whoever she's seeing for therapy or for counseling is basically going to be speaking through her. Who she's seeing on TikTok, Instagram is going to be spoken through her. Facts. Where's my Dr. Umar? Yeah. Where my Dr. Umar soundbite at? Where we at here?
Facts. Facts. Facts.
And also shout out to Dr. Umar because I remember he went on the Breakfast Club in like a while back, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, and he was warning Charlemagne the God, like, hey, he said, I know that's my field of expertise in the mental health type, psychiatrist type field, but he warned Charlemagne against, that, pushing for that mental health stuff because it's not what you think is gonna happen. It's not like what he's pushing for is not what's best for most. And I completely agree with that.
now, instead of people getting better, I just feel like people are getting worse.
Facts. And I know you noticing it. You guys are noticing it too. You guys are seeing it too. By the way, if you're like in a marriage and or in a a long-term relationship with a chick and she starts pushing you guys to therapy and counseling, it's over. And then number two, there have been, couple therapists, sorry, specifically female therapists. Many have came out and said like, yo, it will be certain clients I would see. And a lot of them, anytime we started holding the women accountable, which doesn't really happen much when it comes to those couple therapy sessions, right? And these, marriage counseling and all that. The few times that they hold the women accountable, they they fire the therapist or they fire the counselor. And it was a lot of female therapists that came out and said this. And it just shows you why, especially a lot of women would push for this specific field. Anyways.
We didn't just normalize therapy. We turned it into a personality trait. We didn't just encourage self-awareness. We turned every feeling into a diagnosis. And instead of using mental health language as a tool, we've started using it as a shield, justifying avoidance.
By the way, what she said, with all these diagnoses, I've never in my life, all these Caucasian chicks, every Caucasian chick is now neurodivergent, and they all autistic. I never, everybody, you got women self-diagnosing as autistic, and I'm like, what is the point of this? You got these bitches thinking they autistic now. What is going on? But we already know where that's coming from. TikTok. We already know. And these so-called mental health experts on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, selling fool's gold. These online therapists that they see, the therapists that they see. You got Amanda Seals going on a Club Shay Shay saying that she's self-diagnosed. She said that she had autism, and Shannon Sharp like, whoa. So where is this coming from? And she couldn't give no straight answer. People give Shannon Sharp so much slack. Then just to lo and behold, for Amanda Seals to to snitch on herself, and then it turns out she self-diagnosed as autistic. That's why Shannon Sharp was confused. He's like, where's this coming from? But yeah, there was a lot of women that they couldn't catch on because I was confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, did somebody give you like that. And at what age 40? What you're saying? You're autistic now? What is going on? But yeah, that industry. What? Anyways, let's keep it going. But oh, that's the other thing that I forgot. The last thing before I keep playing this again, when she says people using therapy as a shield, right? But not only are they using it as a shield, they're using it as a weapon. It's the new you need Jesus, like I said earlier before. Women using therapy talk, right? I think there's a skit. If I'm not mistaken, I think there is a skit on that. I can't show it, but we've had even mainstream Instagram skit people make fun of the fact how women are using therapy speak and therapy talk to get out of accountability, to get you know what I mean, for women to not basically do what they're supposed to do and all this stuff, or using it as a weapon, right? In relationships, he was a narcissist, he was controlling, he was gaslighting, he was manipulative, right? These things are very, you're just like, why are these hoes all saying, people be wondering why are all these hoes saying the same thing. This, when you're in a relationship with a woman, you're not just in a relationship with her peoples and all these people behind her, selling her fool's gold, but also her therapist. It's not just the girl you got to worry. You got to worry about this bitch therapist. Every woman talk about, they're always so afraid of predators coming after them, but they don't even understand like the whole industry has been. This is a crazy way to put it. The whole industry, the entertainment industry, companies, the mental health industry, they don't realize they've been letting these entities grape them mentally with their propaganda. Those things that I meant, those are the real predators, these so-called psychological experts catering towards women because they know these are the easiest people to manipulate. These are the easiest people to sell to. You can't sell that fool's gold with the therapy and all this stuff to men. You can't. You ain't gonna make no money. So that's the irony behind the explosion of the therapy industry, the mental health stuff, and all this nonsense. They've been getting graped mentally, not by the men that they're afraid of. It's really by those people. It's crazy how this works, man. It's crazy.
Self-sabotage and emotional fragility in the name of protection. Now everything is a trigger. Everything is trauma. People say, I can't do this. It's bad for my mental health. When what they really mean is, this is hard and I don't want to deal with it. But since
That goes for both genders too. But we talk about trigger this, trauma that. Who that sound like?
when did mental health become about avoiding life instead of learning how to handle it? Good mental health isn't about comfort. It's about capacity. It's about having the emotional, the psychological, and the cognitive range to handle life as it comes, not just.
And I might have to pause it from there because from the rest of what she says is pretty spot on. I wanted to focus on the comments because I just wanted to just show you that most of the women here are on board. So even the women they're feeling the shade tree mechanics of these online therapists or the people pushing this whole therapy. Like you know what I mean? The shadiness of it. Now right here, this the top comment because I like this one. This one woman in the comment section said it's the same thing with the body positivity movement. Now, I already told you what I thought about the body positivity movement. It's just about fat bitches. That's all it is. You would think the body positivity movement would be catered towards, people in the military, people that have lost limbs, people that lost a arm, a feet, legs, people that are physically disabled, mentally disabled, or facially disabled, meaning there's people that have cancers that have affected their face, or they have certain conditions that affect how they look physically. You know what I mean? You would think it would cater to those people. Nope. It's catered to fat bitches. Women that cannot put the fork down and blame it on hyperthyroidism, man. You know what I mean? Bitches that don't really want to hit the gym like they supposed to. Right? And really, with the body positivity movement, with the fat bitches, they just want to be able to attract a certain level type of man. You know what I mean? And that's really what it is. They want to be treated like tens, even though they're twos. Right? That's what Bill Burr said. Something very, very similar to what I said. So yeah, Bill Burr, that's what Bill Burr said. Sorry, I was mixing up the comics for a second. So I was thinking about, I don't know why Bill Hicks came to mind. Anyway, but yeah, Bill Burr said same thing. Just bunch of tens. I'm sorry, a bunch of twos or threes that want to be treated like tens, and those so-called body positivity, those plus size models and blah blah blah. Look at their boyfriends. Just look at their boyfriends or the freaking chads, and you would think they'll be with another quote unquote plus size man. But like I said, it's just about fat bitch. That's what the body positivity movement's about. Okay, so now moving on from that, I see another comment. She's a woman here says, I unfollowed every therapist account on IG because it seemed like it was giving people permission to be perpetual victims and not take any ownership of their lives. But you are a breath of fresh air, and this is exactly what people need to hear. Facts, facts again. And you should see like these online therapists, man. And I remember I told a woman this. This one woman I know, she swears on this mental health stuff, but that's a whole other story. It's a woman I know personally. You're just like, bruh. And she's starting to come around my way of thinking, but she still don't want to give me the credit that I was the one that said this. But she just it's just refusing to acknowledge that a man is right. But that's a whole other story. Right here, Jabrunity says a lot of the problems come from content creators giving false information and making sweeping statements. As therapists here as context. Well, look, therapists are who they are, dog. People are starting to see through the, like I said, the shade tree mechanics or the tactics that therapists use. They're not even really trying to help you or quote unquote cure you. They just want you coming. They want you to do just. They want to do just enough for you, and then for you to keep coming back. So right here, this guy says, "Man, I applaud you for saying it because there are many therapists that feel offended when you say this. It's as if they think that by saying this, it's an attack on them." Right here, somebody says it. It's the new narcissism, the most self-absorbed but unaccountable generation. Folks will feel absolutely entitled to lash out to complete strangers on the internet or set up a camera to cry or podcast about their problems with their with their 1.5k thousand, 1.5 k dollar phones or cameras and studio equipment, but have zero desire to change whatsoever. This is by far the most handicapped, weakest generation, and it's so concerning. And sadly, social media has absolutely enabled it. Yes, I agree. I completely agree. You got people setting up their phone, recording themselves crying. What kind of narcissism, kind of level narcissist you have to be is to record yourself crying, post it on the internet. It's wild to me. Wild. A woman says it's sickening how creative people get to avoid accountability. And I believe, and not to cut her off, but this is something I've noticed with people that like to hold therapy up in the air. Because I believe really they don't really want to change. They just want to be able to exist in a way where they don't have to be accountable for who they are. So they put themselves in a position where they have leverage, whether it be money wise, whatever leverage they have, physically wise, they try to hide behind that, then use therapy to hide behind that, to hide who they are. And because a lot of who we are, really need to change as a person, but it's hard and people don't want to do that. And I believe narcissists have been using therapy as a weapon and a shield to avoid accountability and to attack on people that don't really see therapy as something necessary in their lives, and then they will attack you for that. She see the quotes that she says. Uh-oh. So let me read her comment because I like what she's saying right here. Somebody said, how you in therapy and have no self-awareness? Therapy is turning into something that sounds cool because there is a healing movement and people getting left behind. You have to actually do the work. Making excuses ain't gonna get you nowhere. Every time it's time to be accountable, you hear, I don't have the capacity, I don't feel safe, boundaries, my therapist said, let me run this by my therapist. And what she's saying, she is not exaggerating. You will hear people say this, especially people in my generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, the generation coming up, and younger millennials, right? They will say this. I don't feel safe. This doesn't feel like a safe space. Boundaries. This is the stuff that like South Park, you know what I mean? They was joking about for a minute. But I just believe, and then on top of that, say if you're a person that's really looking to change, or you really need the therapy, who can you go to? How about this? As a black man, right? how the f am I gonna go to a millennial white woman, or really any age white woman, right, and be like, can you help me out with this here? Or even a man in general. And then when you look at the industry, it's mostly women that are therapists. It's like the stats are crazy. It's like 70 plus percent. It's like women, and then it's like I think the other percentage is like 60 something percent Caucasian women. It was like what? And then the men in there, a lot of them are rainbow. Nah, man, that ain't a thing. No. So who can you go to if you like a straight man and you really need help? Or say you have to go to couples therapy and you actually got to find a real neutral down the middle therapist, somebody that's not trying to raid your pockets. You know what I mean? Because the ones that be trying to raid your pockets, what they do is they put all the diagnosis and all the blame on the man. So the woman will keep coming back and making her and the partner keep coming back. These like I said, like a lot of these therapists out here, they're one of the new breeds of scam artists that you see out here, along with like, the dating coaches, etc. It all goes hand in hand.